Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the Dutch Grand Prix on F1 2021. Sorry for long waiting and the complications. We are now in the Q1 with 15 people. So we're in Q1 on the Zandvoort circuit, which is the circuit which was supposed to be raced in the 2020 season, but it didn't because of the COVID pandemic. And today we are racing here with 15 drivers, and I hope the game is not too loud. Please, if yes, then let me know and I can make it a little bit downer. And as the drivers go for the outlap now, and here we can see Danny Boy and I'm gonna make the game a little bit lower with the sound, it's very loud for me. And okay, here we are on board with Danny Boy on his outlap for the Zandvoort circuit. This is the sector 3, approaching the last turns. This can be very tricky part of the track if you outbrake yourself, and here is very important exit to your fast lap. And you activate your DRS. This is the first DRS zone, and we see I believe it's Brute Male who has crashed out. Now if we go back to Danny Boy, here on his fast lap, and now there's the second DRS zone, and as we can see, then there is a tricky chicane. Here you go to second gear, and we can see that there was a yellow flag for a moment, and now as he approaches the last turn, he had a little moment there, and now he activates the DRS and finishes his lap with very decent time. As here is Sebo after his fast lap, Honnold doesn't beat Sebo, and here is also Ray behind Maverick, and there is a yellow flag, and it's Arnold, and there are a lot of drivers here, and Maverick and Mazox, and there is a red flag, but that's for the invalidation lap, so I hope it didn't confuse you. It's just because lap was invalidated, and there's a lot of drivers next to each other, like Brute Male. All the drivers pitted, but Brute Male still stays out. But he finished his fast lap now, and here is Brad on his outlap. Maybe He can also put in a very fast lap time for Ferrari. And there's another yellow flag with Alfa Romeo. It was Mazox. Here is Brad in now approaching the sector 2 on his outlap in a Ferrari, and there he goes. This can be also very tricky curb where we said if you get on your wheel head, then there's another yellow flag, and it's Brute Male who has once again crashed out. Here is Brad still on the outlap. Now if he has warmed his tires enough, and now he, I think, got good enough exit, starts the fast lap now. There's another yellow flag, and again I think it's Mazox, because Sebo is in the pit lane. And it was Mazox who now approaches the pit lane. Here we are watching Brad going to the sector 1, and here he goes very nicely. There's a yellow flag with a Renault sync on the map. Now he's turning very nicely here. His times are still pretty good, and he is hoping for the best lap time he can set, jumping the curb there. Not sure if that gained or lost him time, because then he was pretty slow on the exit. And now he approaches these last turns. Need to get it right here. Had pretty good exit, and now let's see how will his lap time be like. And it is 110.3, which puts him in P6. And Danny Boy has retired, but that wasn't because of a crash, that was just from the menu. There's Adam XMX finishing his fast lap, and is going, I'm not sure if for another fast lap, if he has enough fuel for it, or if he is just going to finish. And there is also Williams, which is looking extremely good here. And it was Arocco who extends his fast lap as Parados now. Oh, and there's a yellow flag. Now I'm not sure why. And it was Honnold retired from the pit lane. And here is Parados. And now if we go on board with the beautiful Williams he has, then we can see that he is behind his teammate, but the gap is not that big, and the drivers are actually pretty close to each other, the top 4. Faradeus of course on his outlap, and drivers are retiring from the pit lane because they think there is no point of finishing the laps, and Faradeus warms his tires up, and Faradeus will now start his fast lap, and he approaches the last turn. He had pretty good exit, activates the DRS. He isn't going exactly to the side. He braked pretty nicely. He turned in but didn't touch the curb, which was good. Now he needs to finish this lap. I think he has started it pretty well. And you can see here the turns of the Zandvoort, the circuit for the Dutch Grand Prix, as he is now approaching this very tricky turn when you can easily outbrake yourself and run into the gravel. another braking zone. You can see already that he's improving his lap time. This will be pretty close if he can keep this lap together between him and his teammate Arocco. Arocco just retired, same as Arnold, from the pit lane. And now Ferdus outbraked himself pretty badly. He might lose a lot of time lap time. And you can already see he has given up on the lap. He had very good lap, but he has given up on it. Here is Maverick, but doesn't look to be a fast lap because it's out of fuel. Here is Brutemail, who might catch up with Maverick pretty soon, and this might be actually very close between them if Maverick doesn't get out of the way because he's low on fuel, while Brutemail is most probably on a fast lap. He doesn't improve Brutemail and he runs very wide. I'm not sure if Pardeus is on another fast lap, but it doesn't look to be so because he's running out of fuel and ERS. Also Sebo is in the pit lane, and the only drivers out are... Oh, and Brutemail tapped he tapped with the gravel, which makes him come into the pit lane. Now Mazox is also in the pit lane, and only Paradeus is on a track. As he approaches this, but this wasn't a fast lap, as he pits. And all drivers are now in the pit lane. This looks for a perfect 1 and 2 for Williams, as Brutemail and Mazox are still not retired, so they are just holding up us from skipping the Q1. And we can now only hope that Mazox will retire, so we can skip this part of Q1 where everybody has retired. And Mazox goes out again. He's the only driver who hasn't retired to skip this qualifying. And he runs very wide on the outlap, and that could have been a front wing damage. Let's look from another camera angle, and it is a front wing damage for Mazox. That's not very good for him, as it's just outlap and he has already put a damage to his Alfa Romeo. Now I think Mazox has to box again because he has hit his front wing. There's no way he can set a fast lap time with it to get him anywhere out of his position. No, and he is actually going for the fast lap, so now as we go on board with the Alfa Romeo, he is going pretty slowly through turn 1. I'm not sure what he can do here with the front wing damage, and we will see that as he passes through sector 1, if he's improving his lap time or not. And he can still technically improve, but you can see that the front wing damage is really costly for him, and you can see that he's not setting a faster lap time. He runs really wide here, and also hit the grass, and this is already given up on the lap. He's the only driver who hasn't retired to skip Q1, and I'm pretty sure that all other drivers are very angry because they just want to skip Q1. and he retired. So as we can see now, Araujo and Farideus, the Williams, are 1 and 2 in Q1. As all drivers logically got through Q1 safely, as there wasn't 16 drivers. Alfa Romeos are at 9th and 14th place, with McLaren 3rd and 12th. Reynolds are 4th and 10th. And then the Racing Points and other. As we now go right into the Q2, where there will be a very strategic battle between drivers, and of course also who is gonna get knocked out in Q2. As Q2 is 15 minutes long, might be actually a bit shorter, as drivers will definitely want to skip it, but some maybe not. And we are already hearing firing up the engines, and I'm seeing the Williams of Faradeus is going out very soon, I believe. We can also see Alfa Romeo of Sebo, and there is a Renault coming out. Sebo just came out ahead. Now Faradeus goes out with another Renault, and here is Ray jumping in the pit lane with the, that's very interesting back as well. Here we can see Faradeus, who is going. Araujo has left the session, I don't know why. Maybe his game has crashed. As a lot of drivers are starting their outlap now, and we can see that Alfa Romeo of Sebo had to avoid Born Venko from the approaching. The driver to look out for is Faradeus, who is just reserve now. He isn't Alfa Romeo driver anymore. He's just reserve because there's a lot of school, but he can still race with us this weekend, and he's looking very strong considering his performance. Oh, he had a little slip there. Oh, Faradeus, I'm not sure if he's lagging or is it just so slippy for him. Because Araujo has left the session, I'm just gonna invite him back right into the lobby, so he can be back. And there's a yellow flag in sector 3, and I can see there's a big traffic jam with the McLarens. They are the McLarens, and there's... Why are they going... the McLarens are giving each other a slipstream, I believe. Okay, so now if we watch race on board, he should be around 5 seconds behind his teammate. We should be giving him... Oh, there was a turbo gene spun out, nearly taking out his teammate. He needs to get out of the way for the other drivers. Yes, and he did. That's great behavior. And here is Faradeus on his fast lap now. It's very nice sector 1. Let's see how will the sector 2 be like. It's looking very good for the reserve driver who is racing for the Williams. There's a Renault of Borchenko. And I believe it was fastest sector 2 as well. That's very strong from the Williams driver, who of course hasn't trained a lot, as he said in the chat, for this Grand Prix. If you want, you can join our chat in the link in description of the stream. There's yellow flag in sector 3, and Faradeus comes to the line with 19888. That's very solid lap time from Faradeus. Also, the driver to look out is here Race on the medium tires, as he's actually trying. This strategy has worked out for him in tier 2 race, where I was racing him, and personally I really enjoyed battling with him, and Sebo had some problems on his fast lap because he has set lap time of just 118.2. That's not very good lap time. Here is Danny Boy. Brad has given up on his lap. Araujo is still in the pit lane, also we're looking for a decent pit stop window. Here is Honnold, the Racing Point driver I was replacing in tier 1 race, and now I wonder who is the driver to look out for. You can see a yellow flag, and I believe that's Adam Ixon. It's Brooks Mail. Adam Ixon is still in the pit lane. He's going very slow, but I don't think he has correct. There's yellow flag in all 3 sectors. Oh my, oh my. Okay, fine. So there's a Williams going slowly. I believe it's Faradeus running out of fuel. Yep, and it is Faradeus. SDM Borjang Arnold are playing some game here, to be honest, because they are very close to each other. Arnold is currently P2, but more than a second behind. There was Sebo, who had really decent lap time, but no, he didn't. But sorry, I just thought it. My fault. So it goes in the pit lanes, and others are going out again. Aroko, the Williams driver, is still in the pit lane. I wonder who is the driver to look out for here. There's a race waiting for his mechanics, who have forgot what's going on. No, it was just because the McLaren driver was going out, and now there are the mechanics there. Here is the Mexico GP winner on medium tires as well. And to be honest, maybe the medium strategy is a little bit better. If Fardeus has led the session, I am gonna ask him what happened, and Miss Arako rejoined the session. Now Borjanko starts his fast lap now on the medium tires with a Renault. Medium tires, of course, the color, which suits Renault very well. And he's really nailing these corners. So Faraday's game has most probably crashed. I'm just gonna invite him. After I will see that he's playing the game. I don't see right now. And Borjanko, I don't think it will be a very decent lap time. I believe he got hold up in that lap. And it for a medium tire it was still very good lap time, and he goes to P2. I'm just gonna invite Faraday right here. And Mazuk says invite please. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna do that right now. Alright, fine. I have invited Mazok as well. Thanks for using the chat to tell me. So I hope everybody has got the invite from me who had game crash problems. Now, who are the drivers to look out for? Turbo Jeans must already finished his lap as he is P1 now. And I see Aroko finally on the out lap as he starts his fast lap now. So if it still shows he's on the out lap, but no, he is now on the fast lap. That's great, and as we can see, the Williams driver really nailing it through here. Now I hope he can do very well here. He didn't upshift it there, and he made and was better than his teammate in sector 1, I think. And now he needs to keep this lap together because he has very good start to that lap. Now he goes to the second DRS zone, activates DRS, goes to the good line, brakes right into the chicane, jumps the curb there very nicely, turns in, approaches now the part of the last corners, very good through here, and now he just needs to keep this lap together. Is looking to be very solid lap time. It will be 1.9.6 and it's the fastest lap time overall, with Turbo Jeans right between the Williams. And Faraday has joined in. He kept in the 8th gear, and I see Ray, the tier 2 driver, on the outlap now. And I think he needs to do as fast a lap as he can. It was 1:10.9, but now he starts another fast lap, I believe. At least he looks like he is doing it, so that's what he's under. FHD bot says hello, Les. Hello FHD, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a nice day at least. It's shame we don't see you racing. Now Ray is trying to get as best result as he can. He's improving a little bit. Not sure if it will be enough though. He really needs to put even better lap time. Maverick retired. He believes he's safe. Or no, he didn't crash, so he believes he's safe for Q2. He doesn't think he's under threat from Sebo or anybody else. Ray going for it. Doesn't look to be that bad lap time. Now he will finish this lap and let's see how it will go for him. He improved to 10th place and now Sebo is on the outlap in an Alfa Romeo. Oh, nearly had a little bit of moment there. Now let's see how will Sebo do here. Are yellow flags in every sector? Mazok left the session again. I am once again going to invite him, but I don't see him playing the game. Arako retired, he also believes he's safe, and that's most probably true. Now let's see how can Sebo do here. Hardo's also retired, I also think he's safe, so it should be good. Now Sebo will start the fast lap now, the fight for getting into Q2. The champion of season 1 isn't doing pretty well this season so far. Let's see how it will go for him. Turbochin's also retired, he's also safe I believe. Now, as the Q2 goes to an end, we will see how it will go, and Sebo once again is trying to get his best lap time as he can. We'll see how his sector 1 will be compared to others. He's looking for... Oh! And Sebo has spun out. Not sure how much damage is there to his car, but Sebo ruined his lap, and he doesn't look to have that much damage. But he's definitely in trouble right now because he doesn't going to make another lap, and Sebo is out in Q2, I believe. Very unfortunate for the driver. Brad now is in fast lap. Let's see how he will do. As Brad brakes now. Brad is actually improving, so Ray isn't safe here. The lap times would be pretty similar at this moment. As Brad activates his DRS. He's at pretty decent sector 2, and at this moment Ray is pretty much at risk of not getting into Q3, which would be really unfortunate for the winner of Tier 2 race. Okay, fine. Mazox has turned his game on. I'm just gonna wait till Brad finishes lap time, what is gonna be like. As Brad finishes, and he gets by a mile into Q3. I'm gonna invite Mazox, and Brad has done a really good lap time here. Sebo retired, he doesn't going to make it to Q3. Again, he's out in Q2. Adam XMX retired as well. I believe Brad and Borjak will do the same in a moment. And I don't think even if Mazox will join, he will be able to actually set up time. Brad retired. So they are going to skip a little bit of Q2 if Born Jungle and Mazox are gonna retire. Now, we are just waiting for these two drivers to retire and skip a little bit of Q2. And then the fight for pole position. We pretty much have 4 drivers by the previous result in contention. And now, as we can see, Arako once again topping the timetable as we say goodbye to Ray, Sebo, and Broodmail, and also Mazox. Mazox has joined the session now, as his game was probably crashed again, which I'm really sorry to hear. And Turbo Jeans, very small time behind Arako. Farados in 3rd place, with Danny Boy right behind him. Honnold then, not really close to these guys, he's missing some time, but he can still threaten them. We can pretty much see a big fight for pole position here. So enjoy the Q3, as we are in Q3 now, 12 minutes. Fight for pole position, 10 drivers, let's see who's gonna get it. I'm already hearing the engines firing up, I hope you too. And once again, we see a Renault coming out. I'm not sure if it is Born Jungle or Arnold. And it is Born Jungle. As he goes out of the pit lane for his outlap. The first driver to be on track. He is going pretty slowly, warming up the tires and brakes. He's on the outlap, he's taking it very carefully, as we see Ferrari behind him, and that's Vrad, I believe. Yes, it's Vrad, right behind him. The Ferrari, then there's Williams and another Williams. Oh, Vrad went a little bit on grass there. Let's see how he will do. Now, I think Borjanko is, as you can see, he's warming up the tires. And he will be the first to start a lap time. So let's watch his lap as he approaches the last turn now. I'm sorry, telemetry isn't any good again, now it is. Lap time as well. Let's enjoy this moment as he is on his fast lap now. The Mexican Grand Prix winner, who's looking to be extremely good here as well. He will be starting on medium tires, I believe. And now let's see how his sector 1 time will be. He will be first driver to set a lap time. So of course he is fastest in sector 1, but look at the time. He's matching the Q2 time of the Williamses, and that would mean he will be in pretty in contention here. He activates the DRS. He's downshifting. There were drivers jumping through there. And somebody pinged me on Discord. I'm just gonna check what's going on, as some drivers have problems or anything. Nope. All drivers are good so far, and 19.1. What a monster time that is. Brad nearly 2 seconds behind. What a monster time he just did. Faradeus is up to P2 but still 3 tenths behind. And Aroko is in P3 now. Williams definitely has some competition here. And I see a Ferrari, that's Maverick, who's crashed out. And he goes back on the track, the number 88. And he's spun again in the beautiful red Honnold retired, and I believe he's crashed or he just retired. I don't know what he did, but it seems like he just oh yeah, there we saw his teammate Danny Boy. Honnold has crashed, but it doesn't matter in Q3. I believe his time will stand where he is. I'm not sure. If I'm not right, please correct me. Here we are on board with Danny Boy in Racing Point. Oh my word! Danny Boy has 5 plays grid penalty for colliding with Aroko. Aroko was standing there extremely slow in the racing line. Now, I don't think that's what you are supposed to do in racing line. Danny Boy is of course pretty screwed now because he has 5 plays grid drop, which isn't what he will be happy about. You can see the frustration why he's going into the pit lane. Now, I am going to look on the server and see if they will broke something. As Arako goes also into the pit lane with broken front wing, but he doesn't have that much damage as Honeyboy, I believe. Vrat is still on track, but he is already going slowly. So all drivers are in the pits now. Here we can see Renault mechanics putting their car in the pit box, and Mercedes mechanics doing the same behind. There is just Vrat out on track, out of fuel. Now, oh boy, what happened there with Danny Boy and Arako? So, our Morocco and Danny Boy both have a 5-second place grid penalty for collision in qualifying. Now that is something which will make this race even more interesting, as one of the top runners, Aroko, has 5 place grid penalty now. So at this moment he would start 9th, but anything can change as we see Farados going out, I believe. Yep, there he goes. Danny Boy is very angry, I believe, but yeah, he gets on with it, and so does Arako. Arako apologized, as I can see on the Discord. Now, let's see if Farados can put this car on pole, because he needs to improve a lot. But Turbo Jeans and Borjang are also in contention. Drivers are going out now. Arako does as well. Farados warming up his tires. We have definitely 4 drivers minimally at contention for pole position. Now, let's see how Farados can do. As we can see, he starts his fast lap now, with DRS wide open, right behind his back. He's slipped there on the curb a little bit. Now on board with Farados in the Williams Racing, and he's slowed down. And he has Turbo Jeans behind him on the outlaw. As I believe Farados will let him pass now. Turbo Jeans in P2, very close with Borjanko though. Now Turbo Jeans, he wants the pole position, and so does Faraday, so does Aroko, but Aroko has a 5 place grid penalty, so even if he will get the pole position, he will be at least P5. Now Turbo Jeans, as we go on board with the McLaren, which was running a beautiful one-off Gulf livery at Monaco in real life. Now Turbo Jeans is using as much as he can. Let's see what happens now with Turbo Jeans. He really wants that well, and we will see if he will improve in Sector 1. As also Corridors is flying, and he improves a lot, but is not enough, I believe, so far. I'm not sure who to watch at this moment, as we see both McLaren and Williams in Corridors. Oh! And Corridors has ruined it. But now, as he's reversing back on the track, there will be Turbojins approaching him, but he gets out of the way, and Turbojins gets past very clearly. But it still might cost him some time. But he's still improving enough to take pole position, I believe. Now, what will be Borcharker's response on that? This will be very close between both drivers. What is his lap time gonna be? Turbo Jeans in McLaren going to the line, pushing, activates the RS as he goes to the line, and he does go pole. 189. Here's Borcharker in sector 1. Let's see how he will do. For those in the pit lane, Monster doesn't have a chance to start another fast lap. We will see how he will do. Borjanko doesn't improve so far. This is looking great for Turbo Jeans. He might improve on that pole. Sorry, he might not get the pole Borjanko today. He looked with a monster time, but now looks like Turbo Jeans. This might be his qualifying today, as I see Ferrari has spun out. Both Ferraris are in the wall. There is Maverick, and here I believe we will see a parked car of Brad just disappear as Borjanko was approaching it. But now, can he get the pole position out of this? I don't think so. It doesn't look to be so. But he improves, but it's not enough. This was a great fight, but I believe Turbo Jeans has done it. I believe Turbo Jeans is on pole position. He doesn't seem to be under threat from anyone as Danny Boy destroyed his sector 3. Adam XMX on the outlap now starts the lap, and let's see what his time will gonna be. Arnold also the fast lap, improving pretty a lot. This can make up for him a lot of positions. He jumped the curb there a little bit, touched the curb here again. Now he's going through the shifts. Let's see if he can get anywhere near his teammate. This might also be pretty good lap time. He activates the DRS now. And he improved to 6th place. That's very decent from the Renault driver. But Fardos is on the outlap. But he's not gonna make it to the flag. Fardos has finished. Borjanker is just gonna finish this lap. But it was... Adam Ismix is still on the fast lap, but he isn't improving. But he improved in sector 2 a little bit. I don't think it will be enough for that P7 as he pushes to the line. Arnold right out from the session. Adam will take the flag and he stays 8th. Q3 is over and Turbo Jeans is done and he's on pole position. Great job from the McLaren driver. He has beaten the Renault driver. And here you can see that Aroko has 5 place drop, so does Danny Boy. So Honnold will be actually P4 at the start. Fardos P3 and Borjanko P2 and Turbo Jesus done it. He is on pole position for McLaren by such a little gap. This will be an extremely interesting race. So hope everybody will enjoy it. And now we are loading in, and I don't think there will be a rain. We will have to wait on the formation lap, and then we will see. How will the race turn out? Everything can change in turn 1, of course. Now, as all drivers are loading in the session, as we can see, 50% race. Some drivers are already loaded, we are just waiting for the rest of the drivers. Let's hope there will be a clean start and not a lot of wrecking in turn 1, as we are now just waiting for all the drivers to load in. Some are loading pretty slowly in the session, but I believe now it's all done. There you can see the predicted pit stop strategy. I'm gonna do it like this, and you can see the drivers on a formation lap. Everybody enjoy the race, because this is going to be absolutely monstrous with these two drivers up in P1 and 2. Also, Fardos in P3. Honnold actually got to P4 after the Arako's penalty. Arako will be 8, which I don't think is something he would want to see. Now Vrad has left the session, I don't know why. I'm gonna look in the Discord and check everything. I hope everybody is okay. I'm just gonna be checking the Discord all time, because I don't want somebody not to get invite if his game crash. Brad has joined in, so they can invite themselves as well, so very good for me. And alright, as we can see, I believe Honnold is there in the P2, but he's on the grid at P4. He's just pushed on the formation lap. And there we can see ghosting of Ray, who is really pushing on this lap. And now drivers are gonna form the grid up for an whole Netherlands Grand Prix, Dutch Grand Prix, with Turbo Jeans on pole. This will be absolutely monstrous race. Borjanko at P2, but of course Turbo Jeans has fresh set of soft tires on, while Borjanko has the medium tires on. This will be also a very big strategic battle. Let's see how it will go for all the drivers. As you can see, 5 lights. Lights out, let's go for the race. I don't see any cars moving. Brad has got drive-through penalty for jump start. But as you can see, Ferrari some had really slow starts. Turbo Jeans leads into turn 1. Borjanko right behind him. Aroko has made up a place in Sebo. Brad has jump start penalty for drive for jumping the start. Borjanko right in P2 behind Turbo Jeans. He touched the grass a little bit. Curtis is right behind them. Now as we go deeply into the midfield, everything looks to be set. There you can see Sebo dive bombing enemies, and Sebo had a little moment there. Now, oh, they touched with Ray, and Danny Boy makes a place up. Now he goes slipstreaming Sebo. This looks very good for Danny Boy. But he doesn't. Sebo tries dive bombing the inside again. Just Sebo is driving very dangerously today. He's really sending it, isn't he? The number 25 on the Alfa Romeo. Everybody got clean at the start. Sebo is slipstreaming Adam X and go for the defense on the inside. Sebo is still clear of him. Aroko is trying to get away from them. Danny Boy right behind Sebo. Sebo tries it, but also Ray is battling with Danny Boy. Here is Sebo and Adam XMX. Adam XMX, they are banging wheels, but Sebo stays behind. This was a very nice battle. And Fardos has made up a place on Borjanko. I believe because Borjanko is on the medium tires, his pace will be a little bit down at the start before the tires will get working. But now he maybe have a run on Fardeus, but you can see that Fardeus on the soft tire has better speed. He chooses the defense line. This is very close. Bernard was locked up on the tire, on his tires. As we now go back to this fight, Sebo is still behind Adam XMX. You can again see predict the pit stop strategy there. One stops for both tire runners, but medium tire runners with later pit stop to give them better tire advantage at the start. And Sebo once again was looking to go down the inside. Ray is right behind him, Danny Boy as well. This group of drivers still lead by Arako, who isn't that far away from Honnold. Parados is few seconds over the lead, Turbo is absolutely sending it. He still has Borchanko behind him. The Renault car following him. Renault chasing the Williams, Renault in 3rd and 4th place. Oh, as Borchanko tries it down the inside into the chicane. And he's made a move, there was a contact. They are still going wheel to wheel, nearly banging each other. Fardeus brakes late, but oh! There was a touch, and Fardeus doesn't have front wing damage. But he has now lost 2 places because of that contact. And Honnold might actually have a run as well. Adam XMX has made move on Arako. As Arako goes in the pit lane with a front wing damage, so that was easy move for Sebo. Sebo might actually have chance to score some good points in this race. Now of course here is Ray versus Danny Boy again. The McLaren versus the Racing Point. Danny Boy is trying to get away, the tier 1 driver. As also Danny Boy tries to chase Sebo down. Adam XMX very close to Honnold, his pace isn't bad at all here. As I believe Fardeus might have some damage, well, doesn't seem so right now, but he definitely could have some. Turbo G's league already by 4 seconds is a massive gap. But Fardeus kind of falling a little bit of pace, I'm not sure why. But he definitely wants to take the 3rd place once again from Arnold. Arnold doesn't have a DRS from his teammate, so this might hurt him. He's missing after that a lot of those PR. Fardeus outbroke himself here a little bit, and Honnold is trying to make that move. This ended up very badly when I was battling with the Renault driver in tier 2, and I'm going to send it down the inside, as Adam XMX now has a run on Honnold. But it didn't happen. Danny Boy already right behind Sebo 55. He's usually named Sebo 55, but this time he's just Sebo. Because he's running on a different computer, so he said he isn't at the wheel he prefers. Which is of course his home wheel. And we saw Ray running really wide there. Sebo goes for it. And then Danny Boy ran a little bit wide there. That might actually help Sebo. Let's see how the Fardeus versus Arnold battle is like. He actually fell far behind. Now Arnold is trying to get his teammate. This is looking to be extremely good battle. But not for a win, at least now, because Turbo is absolutely smashing. He has much better pace. And Honnold has made a move on Fardeus. Fardeus, after the battle with Borchanko, has lost a lot of pace, I believe. But he doesn't seem to have damage, at least by the graphic. And as you can see, his front wing doesn't seem to be damaged. Ray has made move on Sebo as well. Sebo has front wing damage. That's I don't know what to say. He's been really unlucky for last few races, and now he has front wing damage, and he goes very, very wide. And now I believe he should let Brookmail by, because he doesn't have any base at all to keep him behind. Here is his teammate Mazox. Now Mazux is just going down the inside, and Sebo lets him by because he knew he doesn't have any pace because of the fronting damage. Here is Brad. Now Sebo will let him by as well, I believe. Yes, he's lifting and lets Brad by. Aroko very far behind because he had left fronting damage. Not sure why Aroko picked the medium, but he most probably knows that one stop is unrealistic for him. And Maverick here extremely off the back end of the pace, might actually get lapped really soon. Now it's kind of stabilizing here, but you can see Adam, XMX, Farius and Honold in a group here getting chased down by Danny Boy. As Honold leads this group of drivers, Sebo is in the pit lane and he goes to the not last place, there is still Maverick, and let's see how Sebo's pit stop has went, and it seems that it went really good. And Maverick was off, so he was very good to the pit lane as well. It's very calm race so far, no safety cars, just few taps and front wing damages. Honold leads this group trying to get away, but Faradeus and all the other drivers there have DRS. All these drivers are basically battling each other with Ray behind them on the medium tires. Aroko has made up a place on Mazox. Mazox tries to fight back but locked up his tires, and that has cost him a lot. Now here is Sebo on hard tires. I personally doesn't think it's possible for him to finish on these tires, because I was pitting into hello FHD not racing today. Nope, FHD is not racing today. He most has some personal stuff to deal with. Thank you for the question. And FHD is sadly not racing today. He's being replaced by Farados, the highest running Williams today. Now there is Maverick already getting blocked, and he needs to get out of the way. I'm not sure if it's the hard tires or not sure why he. Oh, and there's another Ferrari off. Is that Brad? And Brad has gone off. Here is Mazox, and he gets past Brad. He has done it, and he's past Brad. Let's see how big damage Brad has. Doesn't seem to really have any. Danny Boy has fell a little bit behind this group and now is chased down by Adam. Oh, okay, sorry, I will not switch that much then. Okay, so Adam XMX getting chased down by Ray, and he has front wing damage actually, as we can see on his front wing. Oh, Danny Boy went a little bit wider there, and he has front wing damage. Now Adam XMX thinks he can get a run here, but they tapped a little bit, and now Ray has a run around the outside. They didn't touch, but he's still very close. And Danny Boy goes in the pit lane. Let's see how his pit stop will go. And it is soft tires going on for Danny Boy. Here is Aroko also getting past Danny Boy as he's in the pit lane. Williams driver started on medium tires, I believe. I am not sure though. Tapped the grass there a little bit. And here behind we can see a group getting lead by Danny Boy. All three drivers. Mazuk got past Brutmail there. And the Mercedes driver, I believe, has some struggles, and he has front wing damage. You can see it there on the front wing. And he's going slowly now, and I believe he will pit as well. Or he will be forced to. And yes, he goes in the pit lane, the Mercedes driver. He's in the pit lane now. On board with him is the soft tires going on. So he's committing to a two-stop strategy here. As he goes out, he goes nearly to last place. Only the Maverick behind. As Sebo has left this session. I'm not sure why. Here is Aroko right behind Maverick, I believe. And I believe he's going to lob him. I don't see any blue flags yet, but he's right behind the Ferrari. And there was a blue flag, as he lobs Maverick as well. Some drivers came to the pit lane. Arnold and Arnold both going to the pit lane. Now here's Ray behind Adam Mix. And Brute Male has got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The driver in 13th place. Paradios goes in the pit lane as Ray and Adam Mix both stay out. Ray with DRS now. And there's also a Mercedes driver coming out. Right behind these two. He let them by. Yeah, Arako is doing really well today. And looks to do some good points. He was 4th in qualifying. Oh, and there the Mercedes driver went right into the back of Ray. Now this has cost most probably Ray a lot of lap time. And Adam Mix got it nearly free. Here is the late race league, the Turbo Jeans going in the pit lane. So Borjanko leads the race. And now Turbo Jeans has just came out. Ray is in the 4th place. And he's also in the pit lane, goes hard tires on. One stop strategy here. Party is right behind Arnold here. Party is on medium tires and Arnold had a little bit of slip there. Williams driver right behind him. We are on board with the Williams. Lagging a little bit there, and now he activates the DRS, pushes the overtake button, and he goes down the inside. Arnold is right behind him now, fell off a little bit, but I don't think he made a DRS in time, but he still might get it, and he did. He has DRS for Farideus. But now he's fell off Farideus, so Hurst got his 4th place at the moment. Arauco is still in 3rd. Turbo Ninja set a fastest lap of the race, and he's 8 seconds behind the leading Renault of Borjanko. Now Borjanko has yet to make a pit stop, and it might be this or next lap, as he's on the medium tire. Here watching the onboard of Arnold, already made a stop on the hard tires. And here, as we go right here, there's Adam XMX chasing down Ray in McLaren. Ray on hard tires, Adam XMX on medium tires. The Mercedes should have a better pace at this moment, but it looks like Ray is doing nearly the same as him, keeping him behind. There's a yellow flag, and there's a racing point of Danny Boy right ahead of them. Maybe made a little mistake there, Danny Boy. But you can still see the Mercedes trying desperately to pass the McLaren. And they both have a DRS now. Medium tires should have better performance. And Borjanko from 2nd place pits. And now we can see 3 drivers next to each other with Danny Boy leading this group. Borjanko just finished his pit stop, and Danny Boy goes into the pit lane. Well, he tried to dummy them, but he didn't went to the pit lane actually. Now Adam XMX makes move on Rayman down the inside, and he's got it done. Now Rayman will try to fight back most for in a second DRS zone. Danny Boy is still ahead of all these drivers, touching the grass there a little bit. Now Ray is now behind and is falling off on the hard tires a little bit. Adam XMX then now behind Danny Boy, trying to get it done and make up another place. Danny Boy on the soft tires, and Adam XMX in 8th place. Now, I believe Danny Boy had a little bit of slip there on the curb, which should give around here to the Adam XMX, and now he's slipstreaming him. He goes around the outside as Danny Boy forces him there, and he gets it done, but Danny Boy fights back. On the inside there was a small tap, and Danny Boy doesn't seem to have any damage, but had to save it there. As they nearly crash, the Racing Point, now on the soft tires, is still behind him. And will most probably want to fight back for the 7th place. Now then we activate the DRS. Marek has set a fastest lap and he's on the soft tires. Now Danny Boy will have DRS again, but doesn't seem like he can get Adam XMX done at this point. But he will definitely try everything to get it done. And he didn't even get close to him. Adam XMX is driving very nice race at this point. Now, Danny Boy even doesn't even have DRS. But that makes it is 4 seconds behind Honnold. As they lap Sebo now. Honnold made a move on Arnold, but Arnold tries to fight back here. And Arnold slipped there on the hard tires. That will give a little bit of free space to Honnold. Arnold is still behind on the hard tires, but he's still in the detection zone for the DRS. That should give him a chance to attack in the second DRS zone. If he will get enough speed on the exit. Doesn't seem he will be that much close to Honnold, but now he may cut some ground. But Honnold on the medium tires has some superior grip. Now Arnold activates the DRS and he might be even close this time, as he's gaining on Honnold, but he doesn't send it. He's still behind him, and I believe now he will start losing on the hard tires. They are both going really over the curb a lot there. Arnold is out of the DRS range. Here is Adam XMX and Danny Boy. Danny Boy is still in the DRS range for the Mercedes on the medium tires. Danny Boy opens the DRS, but he won't be close enough to send it there. Now on board with the Mercedes, the Black Arrow here, and Adam XMX is driving it, getting chased by Pink Racing Point on soft tires. Danny Boy once again has DRS, as he's trying to follow the Mercedes. I believe Johnny Boy will have to pit one more time because there's no way he's going to make it to the end on these soft tires. And he is out of the DRS range, I believe. And yes, he was, and he doesn't open the DRS. And I saw that it's raining a little bit. So this might change everything in this race, as it maybe starts raining a little bit now, and you can already see that it's starting a little bit to rain. And if it will get raining a lot, drivers will all have to pit for intermediates or full wet tires, as Borjanko now is in DRS range for the turbo jeans. Now this might be the fight for the lead, as Borjanko now will try to get turbo jeans. And he opens the DRS, but he's also has a DRS because of the back marker there. I believe it's brute male. Arnold gets a penalty for collision with Adam XMX. And Danny Boy made up a place there as well, but now we are watching the fight for the lead as Borjanko is trying it around the outside. He has to stick behind, but now he gets a run out of the corner, and he has made the move. As you can see, the medium tires are already running out of the grip, and is getting wet on the track. Arnold pits, I can see it on the minimap. As it starts running, Borjanko takes the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix. We have two drivers in pit, it's Adam XMX and Arnold. I believe there was a contact between those two. Vrad has also passed them in the pit lane. Turbojeans is now following Borjanko on his medium tires, but I believe they will have to pit very shortly for the intermediates or full wets. This will be a very important decision. The boys in the pit lane was already going for the wet tires, but both race leaders are staying out. Borjanko leads, but Turbojeans is still in the DRS range, from which he has fell now. And it's just already raining a lot on the Zandvoort circuit, and we now just wait. Danny Boy is also in the pit lane. This will be a very important decision. If it will pay off to drivers who have stopped early, or if it will pay off to drivers who will stop lately, but I don't see the track that wet, at least at the moment. But it's starting to rain, but it's not raining that bad. So actually staying out at this moment might actually be the better decision, at least for the soft runners. Borjanko leads, but Turbojeans is still in the DRS range. And they stay out again, the top two. Turbojeans has the DRS and he makes the gap smaller once again. As both top two drivers are racing, and Vrad and Arnold just had a crash there. You can see the car of Vrad destroyed there, and we have a virtual safety car. There is a virtual safety car. Both Ferraris are out. It's a double DNF for the team of Bouncing Horse Ferrari. We have a virtual safety car. This might force some drivers to pit. And yes, the Ray is pitting. Brad has left the session. He must be very angry. Borjanko has a drive-through penalty. The race leader got a drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car. As it ends now. Virtual safety cars ended, but Borjanko has a drive-through penalty. This may be handing the victory to Turbojeans. There is anything can still happen, but Borjanko has drive-through as he loves his teammate Arnold. The yellow flag in sector 3, as Arnold was most probably going very slow, but Turbojeans will not be very happy now because Borjanko has to pit, and now he has a drive-through. This must really hurt him, he must be really frustrated now. The pit lane, luckily for him, is pretty short. But now here is Arako. Can Arako get him? He doesn't seem to get him as he pits. So Arako won't have a jump on him, which he most probably wouldn't get anyway. But as one of the very high placed runners pits now for intermediate tires. He believes the track is dead wet now, that there is a need for the wets. Honnold now, here he is behind Farados. Racing Point behind Williams. Honnold has been doing very good race. As you can see, Honnold there right behind trying to chase down Farados. These guys still haven't pitted for any wet tires. Atomix and Mix has made up a place on Ray. We are focusing on his battle right now. This may be a potential fight for a podium or at least very highly scored point place. As Honnold chases Farados down and he's putting him under a lot of pressure. Farados is earning a podium place. Honnold opens his DRS now. Honnold might actually have a run here, but he's just a little bit too far away. But he sticks there behind into 4th place. But he is very close now. Farados needs to get away from the threat of Racing Point, as he's putting under a lot of pressure. There are also back markers. And now we saw a little bit of lagging, and Honnold actually got closer, but now he's pulling once again behind. There are back markers right up ahead this fight. Williams versus Racing Point fight for 3rd place at the moment, as they both love the drivers. The Renault driver, I believe it's Arnold, because Borchenko is 11 seconds behind the lead. And Honnold still wants to get this done. There is most likely a Mazox ahead, I believe. And he will have to get out of the way, as he does. Honnold is slipstreaming Farados, but he isn't that close, because he has to now stick behind the back marker. Honnold is getting really held up here by the Alfa Romeo, and he has lost a lot of time here. It's raining really a lot now, and I believe this might be time for all drivers to pit. Like Farados and Honnold, who are still out. Maybe it's raining a little, but the track doesn't seem that slippery still for these drivers. This might actually help them, but I believe the drivers on intermediate tires are actually slower at this moment. There's another back marker ahead. This time it might actually get Farados, who was hold up. Honnold, now he doesn't try to move, and Farados was very close to the track limits there. Honnold is behind him, slipstreaming the Williams, but he is still a little bit far away. Farados is a very fast driver, and it must be difficult battling him, and they once again stay out. Honnold once again has the DRS, and once again he is just way too far away. Now Honnold is falling a little bit behind. It's something of a few. And oh, there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Arnold has retired. I have no idea why. It doesn't seem like a crash. Just retired from a menu. This puts Sebo in a point position. Arnold has left the session, so there must be some problem. Honold has the DRS again. Again, he gets closer to Fardos, but he's just way too far away for any attack at the moment. Adam XMX overtook Aroko on the track, and there's a racing point. Is that Danny Boy? Yes, it is. Danny Boy has crashed out on the soft tires, but he stays out, so he maybe doesn't have any damage. No, it just looks like he tapped the wall, but he's good so far. Right back to this battle. Honold is still behind, but in the detection zone for the DRS. Trying to put Farius under the pressure, but he's just way too far away for any attack. As he tries his best. Now I believe some drivers maybe doesn't even have to pay for the intermediate tires because there are still guys on the slicks faster. And maybe for some drivers like Aroko it was wrong decision to quit so early for the intermediates because the rain isn't that heavy. And now Honold had a little bit of slip there. He has the DRS, but he is out of the detection zone at this moment. He's more than 1 second behind Parados, as he had a little bit of slip there. And yeah, he's now starting to slip, so maybe he will now go for the intermediate version as well. And I believe the intermediates are starting to speed up now, and yes, he pits, and I believe it will be for the intermediate tires. There are the racing point mechanics, and now, yes, it's the intermediate tires. You can watch the pit stop here. They have put the green marked intermediate tires on. Now here is Adam XMX, most probably won't make it to Honold. And Honold gets out safely ahead, still in 4th place. Adam XMX stays out. Oh, and there was a Williams of Arako who tapped the ball hard there. Arako goes in the pit lane, and I believe that is a nose change for this driver. You can see the Williams mechanics running out there. And another very nice pit stop for the tires, and there's a nose change. The nose change has been done, and Arako goes out again on fresh intermediate tires. There aren't any drivers pretty close to each other at the moment. And here is the Williams driver Arako. Turbo Jeans was in the pit lane, so Borjanko once again takes the lead. Let's see, I believe it's the intermediates. And yes, the race leader has put the intermediates on. And now he will have to chase down Borjanko because he's still on the usual soft tires, I believe. If we look at him, yes, he is still on the slick tires. Let's see how it grabs will go, and you can see that the intermediates are now actually really a lot faster. It's 3 laps to go actually, and you guys can see how he's nailing it, and he's much faster. Adam XMX pits, I believe it's also for the intermediates. There's already water, so it makes sense now to pit. And Turbotin is getting in near every corner at least 2 tenths on Borjanko. So he will have to pit as well. Staying out must be really a nightmare at this moment. Honold is in the 3rd place. Aroko is against his teammate Fardes who's in 4th. Aroko is just in 7th. Well, he has drove a very good race today. But then there was the mistake we saw a few laps ago. And you can already see how Turbo Jeans is much closer to Borjanko than he was before. It was 4 seconds ahead when Turbo Jeans pitted. Now it's just 1.1 second after 1 lap. And you can see that these slicks aren't working here anymore. Here is the Renault driver, and there is oh, Turbo Jeans a little slip there. I'm not sure if it's Sebo or Mazox. I think it was Mazel, but I'm not sure. I believe in the DRS zone, if DRS is still active, which I don't believe it is, but at the straight where usually second DRS zone, I think Turbochin is gonna have a run because look how they are already battling, and Turbochin has just better car working at this moment. As now he's slipstreaming and Borjak has slipped there, and Turbochin takes the lead very easily from the Renault driver, and he had DRS active. Now Turbochin leads this race in lap 34 from 36 laps. This might be the best strategy decision from Borjanko not to pit, because you can see that he stays out on the soft tires because he's unsafe to Honnold now on the intermediates, so he just needs to stay out and hope that he won't lose the second place to Honnold. Let's watch Honnold now as he's on the start finish straight on the intermediate tires. Arauco, where's that? And you can see that the intermediate tires are working better than his slicks, and he's getting real loads of time from Borjanko, who has very bad grip, but he's keeping it together in the bad conditions on these soft tires. And I don't think he wants to pit because he knows he won't be safe to Honnold. And I think if he doesn't make any mistakes, he might be actually safe to get the P2 on these slicks. Well, slip here, Honnold. And you can how many times he's getting off him. There's Sebo disconnected. As you can see the red marker next to his name. And Honnold might actually love his teammate Danny Boy very soon. Danny Boy in 8th place. You can see him on the start finish right now. And the gaps is 7 seconds Borjanko, which means he would really need to make mistake this lap Borjanko to not get the P2, because I don't think he can just get 7 seconds of him in this lap. But you can see that in every corner he's getting just so much time, and if the race would be 1 or 2 laps longer, then he would definitely get him. And as you can see, right is ender. Yeah, you can see Borjanko has crashed. He has crashed. And here there is his Renault. Oh my god, that was a really hard crash. And from second place, the Renault driver crashes out. And as we go to Faraday's on board now, and there is Alfa Romeo driver collected as well. I'm not sure who that is. It was Sebo, who most probably crashed with the MP Borjanko, the vehicle, right? And Faraday's will actually get a podium as race control now disables GRS. Honnold is now safe for the second place, so what I was thinking will happen actually happened. And Mazox is a 20-second time penalty, but Sebo is missing nearly 1 lap to him, so there won't be anything. But every driver gets a place up now because Borjanko crashed from second place. Is unbelievable. As Turbochin's won the race, Honnold gets that P2. Here you can see Faraday's on his way to P3. Beautiful podium for the reserve driver, who has performed extremely well today, so well as all the others. He crosses the line in 3rd place. Here's Adam XMX going for a great result. He is number 66 on his car, the black Mercedes, and he will approach for the 12 points which 4th place gives you, as he gets it done. Now here Ray, who had extremely good tier 2 race, and who also had a very good tier 1 debut. Here he gets P5, and Arauco Williams driver has also done very great job this race and finishes in P6. Great race, everybody. Now we will see a podium celebration and then the interview with all the drivers. Driver of the day was chosen as Ray. Now you can see the podium celebration. And definitely great race. Very colorful podium. Grateful all drivers. So Turbo Jeans has won the race from Honnold, Farineus, Edumix, Ray, Arako, Borjanko, who DNF'd but has still got 7th, Danny Boy, I can see GG's in the chat, it was really GG, Danny Boy, then the Alfa Romeos, and then out of the Brute Mail got lapped twice. And now we will start approaching the drivers for an interview. If some drivers will actually decide to get an interview, which I hope so. And we have the race winner there already. Hello!
Hey,
Hello! How did your race went today? You won the race. You must be feeling really well today.
Yeah, very good race. The strategy was just on point. When it started to rain in the last minute, it was just perfect. And
Yeah,
I'm really sad to see Boyan get that stupid drive-through, but it helped me get the win. So
yeah.
yeah,
He crashed out of the P2 there, and
yeah, that was sad.
he still scored points because he got one lap down.
Yeah,
And you really performed the very nice pole lap. You were the only driver to get 1.8.
yeah.
Were you training a lot for
Uh,
today's race?
I'm sorry, what?
Were you training a lot for today's race?
Yeah, I have been training a lot. I've really been tryharding the time trials, and you can see that in the qualifying. I got the fastest
Yeah,
pole to win. That's not bad.
great race from you. Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello, Ray. Extremely
Hello.
well and extremely good Tier 1 debut for you. How did you enjoy the race?
It was quite surprising, actually, especially at the end with the whole inter-tire situation. That kind of screwed a lot of us over, but came from P10, P5, great result.
You have must really enjoyed the race and also the qualifying where you again got knocked out in Q2, but once again you have made a great recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I was racing with default suspension. I forgot to change my suspension in the setup, so I kind of lost about 4 or 5 tenths worth of pace, but I made up for it, and a lot of highs to take away from this race.
Was the weather a little bit tricky for you today, or did your setup work as well as in the dry conditions?
The setup still worked. I feel like there were some places where if I had the suspension, I could have made up a lot more time, but no, apart from that, I'm very happy with the race.
Okay, thank you very much for the interview.
No problem.
Alright everybody, nobody else seems to do the interview, so thank you everybody for watching and see you again next time.